there, Booksy, welcome back to my channel. This is my library haul. I've been to the library a few times in the last week or so, and these are the 7 books that I've taken home with me, and I'm going to tell you about the books. I'm going to show you the books as well. I'm going to tell you a little something about them, as well as why I have them. Sometimes I take books from the library and I just take these books for a walk because I take them home. I don't have a chance to read them before they're due back at the library. But this time I'm hoping that all these books that I'll be able to read them. I've been reading a lot lately. This week, About a Books Readathon is going on, and so far I've read 3 books this week. It's Thursday. I've actually read more books than that. But one of the books that I read, no, hold on. About a Book started on Monday. So I've read 3 books in 4 days. Today is day 4. And I just started a book this morning. I think I'm going to be able to finish it today, or at least I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish it today, which would mean 4 books in 4 days, which is great. But that has nothing to do with the library haul. So let's get on with these books. The first book I'm going to show you is Doris Lessing's The Sweetest Dream, and I got this one from the library because, well, I reserved it because I didn't know how long it was going to take. Britta Bowler, she has a YouTube channel called Britta Bowler, easy to find. She hosts a Nobel Women Read Along, and every month she chooses a different female winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, and we read together a book from before the author won the prize, or at least that's the goal. She started to read along in November last year, I think. And I have an ongoing challenge to read all the Nobel Prize winners for literature. And so this is a fantastic opportunity to read the female winners along with a group. And even though I know that I should, I haven't been reading all the books that she's selected. So I tried. I looked ahead. I gave myself enough time to reserve this book from the library. It came in, and so I hope that I still have it in June when the read along begins, because this is the June pick. I didn't try for the May selection because I knew I didn't have time in my May TBR, but this time, I think in June, I have an opening. So The Sweetest Dream is set in the 1960s, and it's about a woman who is hosting her children. I think she's a ex-wife, and she's supposed to be going to live with her ex-mother-in-law, and then her ex gets in touch with her and tries to offload one of her stepchildren onto her. It's set in the 1960s, and it's supposed to be discussing the whole idea of free love and changing the world, peace, give peace a chance, all of that. I don't know too much about the story. I haven't read it yet, but I'm looking forward to diving into this one. It's a paperback copy that I got from the library. It's a little beat up, but I'm hoping that I like it. It's 460 pages. We'll see The Sweetest Dream again when I talk about my June TBR, because I'm going to be reading it in June. The next 2 books I'm reading, well, one of them I'm reading because it's a Man Booker Prize winner, and I'm a little bit behind on my Man Booker readings, so this is a book that I should have read in April. This is Rites of Passage by William Golding, and this one is set aboard a ship. From England going to Australia, we have a young man writing a journal that he wants to send back to England to his godfather. So he's talking about the events that are happening on the ship, and I don't know too much else about it, except this is the beginning of a trilogy, I think. William Golding is probably better known for his novel Lord of the Flies, but he's also a Man Booker Prize winner, and I started to read this last year. This might even be the exact copy that I got from the library last year, and I didn't finish. I returned it. But this year, as you know, I'm trying to read all the previous Man Booker winners. So this is the 1980 something winner. Let me see. I don't even know which book I'm up to. 1980. So I'm going to be reading Rites of Passage by William Golding. It's on my May TBR. And I'm also reading Rites of Passage. This one is by Joy N. Hensley. So both of these books have the same title. I'm using these 2 books to participate in the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge, which is a reading challenge that I try to do every year. And one of the prompts for the Pop Sugar Challenge this year is to read 2 books with the same title. And I figured since I'm reading this, I might as well read this, because when I searched for Rites of Passage on my library reserve system, this book also came up, and I was like, okay. It's interesting because this one is probably not a book that I would have chosen myself, but the synopsis sounds engaging. It's about a girl. Her name is Sam. I don't know if Sam is short for Samantha or anything, but her name is Sam, and her brother, I think, has died recently, and she enrolls in military school, some kind of a deer or something. But in any case, she's in military school and she's surrounded by boys who don't want her there and are probably bullying her into leaving. But she's not the kind of person who backs down from something she's committed to. So it's probably some coming of age story where she learns how to take responsibility for her decisions and falls in love with someone who she meets in military school. I don't know. We'll see when I read it, but this is probably not going to be in my May reading. Hopefully I'll be able to hold on to it and read it in June. Most of these books are due back at the library in the first week of June, so if I can hold off and put them on my June TBR, this would be good because I don't think I have room in my May TBR for anything else. So these are two books with the same title. One is in my May reading and one's going to be in my June reading. That's going to be interesting. Then there's a book that I've heard mentioned a lot, even though I don't think I knew until just today what the book was about. But I saw it on the shelves in the library and I said, I should probably read that at some point. White Tears by Harry Kunzru. Is that how you say his name? I've heard about this book without really knowing what the book is about. And it has something to do with music. It's about two young people in New York. And one of them accidentally records someone singing in the park or something and uploads it onto the internet, and someone tracks them down, and it's about finding a musician who seems to have disappeared sometime before. And I don't know, I'm looking forward to reading this one just because I've heard people mention the title, and I think this title has shown up on some of the list challenges that I've done. Have you read White Tears by Harry Kunzru? So after this, hopefully I'll get to it, and after that I'll be able to say yes when that title comes up. It says on the back, a book that everyone should be reading right now, part ghost story, part travelogue, a treatise on race, class, and poverty of the soul. That's a quote from Time magazine. So we'll see if it lives up to that description, but I hope so. And we have a title that I saw on Bookstagram a lot during February, Black History Month. A lot of people posted pictures of this one. And that's because the author is African-American female. She's also LGBT. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia with her wife. So this one is The Care and Feeding of Ravenously Hungry Girls by Anissa Gray. And how many pages? A little under 300 pages, and I think it's a family drama. It says in the front that it's a cross between The Mothers and An American Marriage. So it's about women, but it's also about the justice system in America. And in this one, we have a family, I think mostly females in this family, and one of the sisters and her husband, I think, both get arrested, and so it's maybe the rest of the family trying to discover why they've been arrested and probably whether or not it's unfair, and probably most likely trying to get them out of jail. So this one has blurbs from Terry McMillan, who's the author of Waiting to Exhale, I mean, among many other things, but I think that's her most famous work. Delia Owens, who's the author of Where the Crawdads Sing. Jocelyn Jackson, who's the author of Almost Sisters, and Karen Tanabe, who's the author of The Gilded Years. I really enjoyed Where the Crawdads Sing. I thought that was really good commentary on life in the South, and so taking their recommendation and keeping my expectations high for this novel as well. And then a few weeks ago, I posted a video where I was at Barnes & Noble and I asked you, my subscribers, to choose between 3 new releases, which one of them I should read. And as I probably always do, because I was so interested in the books and a lot of you sounded like you were really interested in the books, I decided to try to get all 3 of them from the library and read them all. So far I've gotten 2 of them, The Editor by Stephen Rowley and There's a Word for That by Sloan Tannen. And this one, if you remember, is an imagining of a writer getting a publishing contract, and his editor is Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. And I'm looking forward to getting to this one. It's probably the one that got the highest votes. It's probably the one that you guys want to hear the most about. It's also Again, new release, much hyped because of the subject matter. But I was also really interested in There's a Word for That by Sloan Tannen. This one is the family, the Kesslers, the retired film producer and his daughter. This family all kind of need to go to rehab, and I don't remember all the details of the synopsis, and I don't want to reread the synopsis because I'm going to read the book now and I don't want to spoil myself for the experience. And then there's a third book that I still have on reserve from the library, and that is the one about the mother-in-law. And a lot of you said you wanted to hear about that book, so I'm hoping that I'll get the other one really soon, and then I'll just do maybe a reading vlog where I read all three of these and talk about them. Well, not three of these, two of these, and that other one that's coming, because since I made a video about those three books, I want to make a follow-up video where I talk about those three books. So those are the 7 books that I got from the library in the last week or so. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you've read any of these and want to discuss them. If you have one of these books on your TBR and you'd like to do a buddy read with me, I'm always open to that. Love to discuss books with you one-on-one, as well as here on the channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for being here. And I'll put a link down below to the 2019 Man Booker Reading Challenge playlist, where if you're just interested in Man Booker books, I've created a playlist where I'm going to be uploading the videos where I just review those books. I have a lot of footage to edit and put up here for those books that I've been reading. That's coming soon, but if you'd like to be notified, subscribe to that playlist as well. But also, if you're new here and you just love books, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's talk in the comments. So until next time, happy reading. Bye.